Hello, good morning, and welcome to Out of Spec Motoring. We are going on another adventure, and this time we are taking the very dirty Model 3 Performance. That's because we were just off-roading it in northern Colorado. For those of you who are just tuning in, we now live in Colorado, and we haven't had the chance to explore. We've been traveling, we've been working, and we really just want to get up into the mountains. It's the winter time, middle of January here in 2021, and we want to go explore some things. So we're going to take the dogs in the Model 3, just like our summer road trip. We're gonna jump in the car and head deep into the Rocky Mountains and see what kind of things we can see. This is Exploring Wintery, Colorado. Let's jump in and go. Now let's talk about what we have on the car. We have the Martian MW03 wheels. These are the really narrow ones. You guys know I like these wheels for range, but they also work really well for snow. I expect us to get in some pretty gnarly snow on this trip. The mountains are just over that ridge right there, and we're lucky to live here in Colorado. And we have the best snow tires you can possibly get. We have the Nokian Hakkapeliitta R3s. These are about as aggressive as you can get for a non-studded winter tire here in the US. Nokian invented the winter tire, and it is pretty neat. So we're gonna test those tires out for sure. We have Bleu and Ellie in the back. You can see Ellie right here, of course, our golden retriever. Bleu, our other dog, there they are. And the car is covered in mud already because we've been doing a little bit of local adventuring. Anyway, what we're gonna do is jump in. Typical out-of-spec motoring road trip. I think we're charged up to 98%. Precondition the car, and then we will be off and to the mountains. So you can see here we are charged up to 98%. This is the new UI, and this portion of the screen is way too big. I'm really not a fan of how this car's UI has changed. I really haven't driven it much. Alyssa's been driving this car every day, and how have you been enjoying it?
Very good, but when you're working in Wyoming, it is very windy on the way up. So we had to charge a little bit extra to compensate for that wind and to compensate for my heated seats on the way up as well.
The heated seats don't really draw that much power. Anyway, we are here in Fort Collins, of course. Now we have a couple different options to head into the mountains. It looks like we can head this way to Estes Park and then to Kremling and over. What I'd really like to do is head to Montrose. So it is possible that we could go down and up I-70. But that is red with traffic, probably lots of skiers heading up into the mountains and maybe accidents and ice. Keep in mind the climate down here is so different than just down the street where the mountains start. And so that's why we've chosen to live right on the edge of the mountains where we really don't have that much snow down here, but it gets crazy just a few miles west. So yeah, I think maybe we head in this way. We go Kremling to Glenwood Springs, down to Montrose. This is a brand new 250 kilowatt supercharger. We've heard from some friends that this is just one of the most beautiful areas of Colorado. So much to explore, so much to go take a look and see. So let's jump in, let's go for it. Eventually we'll head to Montrose, maybe tonight. But wow, pretty weird that it's having us go all the way to Pontcha Springs to get to Montrose. We've driven this road before. It's pretty cool. But yeah, I think this is the road we took up to Aspen, actually. But now we are just going to, I guess, do this route, or maybe we'll do another. This looks pretty cool as well. What do you think, Alyssa? Should we go this way or through the northern mountains?
Well, we've been on 70 a lot.
Yeah, well, it looks like 70 might be closed, or that's just not the best way to get there.
No, that's just Breckenridge skiing traffic right there. Yeah, right to Keystone.
On the way there, we're going to follow the car's directions. We'll head down I-25, go through Denver, and then break off into the mountains just southwest of Denver. We've been on this route before, and it was absolutely gorgeous. But since basically from this point onwards, I've never driven any of these roads. So I'm excited to do some exploration. Bleu, are you ready to go see some cool views? Absolutely. And the dogs are going to have a good time, I'm sure. So let's go see what we can get ourselves into, heading down this way and over to the west. Welcome to the town of Fairplay, Colorado, nestled here in a valley, but still at 10,000 feet of elevation. Bleu is having an absolute blast. And I stopped here not because we needed to charge, but because I wanted to show you what Colorado is doing. And so, of course, with Volkswagen Dieselgate going on, every state got a certain amount of money to build out a zero-emission vehicle charging infrastructure. Now, of course, the car has no tailpipe emissions. Not sure where the electricity is coming from, but here's the deal. These are two brand new ChargePoint CPE 250s. Now, I believe the way these are supposed to be wired up is they should be on, again, yep, that 150 kVA transformer. I believe it's supposed to work where when you plug one car in, you get 125 kilowatts, and when you have two cars, you get 62 and a half. Although both units are displaying 62 and a half peak output, which is not what it says on PlugShare. So who knows about that? Also could be saying that because I've plugged in the Tesla. So lots of options here. Anyway, we are charging here on the Chatamo and doing about 50 kilowatts, 44 kilowatts here, 24% state of charge. Just a good idea to plug in, make sure these units work. We really are in rural Colorado all the way out here, and always nice to check in case someone needs to charge. Mark on PlugShare that the units are working, everything is good. Get the dogs out of the car for a little run. And man, what a beautiful set of chargers these are. This is great. Can't wait to get a Rivian, something off-roady, something fun, and use some of this new charging infrastructure. I love that Colorado has a focus on rural mountain charging so that we can do some serious driving and routes out here in the mountains for years to come. That's partially why we moved here to Colorado, was so that we could do some exploration in EVs. And technically, this is kind of our first trip in the Model 3, just going around for the weekend. So let's load the dogs back up after they run around, and we are off to the Pontcha Spring Supercharger, which I believe is a few thousand feet below us in elevation. At least I hope. We'll see. Otherwise, we won't make it. And we have arrived at the Pancha Spring Supercharger with 13%. That's pretty good. We would have been pretty low if we didn't stop at the Chatamo, but it was mostly downhill. Absolutely would have made it. Plug in here at 150 kilowatt superchargers. Looks like a whole cabinet is down. Typically this, when you put the cable over the stall, it indicates that the supercharging cabinet, which does all the work over there, that would be down. 4B is empty, so we should see pretty much max speeds. Not that cold out today. We're in the 40-degree range, and we drove the car quite hard. So gotta say, these Hakkapeliitta tires are doing pretty well here. Haven't hit any major snow yet, but on the road at least, super comfortable. Definitely drives like a snow tire. You can feel the car's a little squishy in the corners, but to be expected with a tire that is this aggressive in the snow. Let's take a look at our charging speeds that we're going to be getting. Bleu, how are you doing, buddy? You want to run around, I'm sure? Let's take a look inside here. All right, 131 kilowatts. Not the best, not terrible. Oh, does that make you upset? Ellie, how are you, love? You guys having fun? Anyway, we're just going to keep charging up. Should ramp up to around 140, 145 kilowatts. And let's take a look as to where our next stop is going to be. I think we're going to be heading, to the new Montrose Supercharger. It's in a nice little town. And let's see, what are we going to be going by? Marysville, Monarch, Sargent's, Parlin. I've never heard of any of these places. Saponaro. Cimarron. I know that because there was a car named after that town. An old GM product, so it's probably not great. And then here in Montrose, and I heard like this is an awesome town to spend some time in, and that unlocks the entire southwest corner of Colorado for electric exploration. So let's do that. We'll charge up here and then we'll head west to Montrose. Well, not much longer. We are charged up here enough to get to Montrose with plenty of buffer if we decide to make a little bit of a detour. What do you guys think? Blue, you're looking real sleepy. Ellie, you really are sleepy. Let's get this thing unplugged and we will head off to Montrose. Maybe finding a nice place to eat along the way. And hopefully we'll find a little bit more snow because right now it certainly is snowy, but not as much as I would have expected in 10,000 feet of altitude in the middle of January. But I guess this is all part of learning as we move to the state. Yep, you can get out and run soon, okay? Yeah, I know.
Gunnison, Colorado, and we're looking for a place to get some lunch. Hopefully around here there's a Holiday Inn Express and some buildings, kind of promising. Looks like a little dog run there or something. There's an Arby's.
Yeah, Alyssa doesn't do Arby's. Oh, there's like stuff going on here. This is pretty neat. Let's see what we can find for food, something local. Western Colorado University. How about that?
That's beautiful.
That is gorgeous. Wow. That is, and look at the view they have too over there. That is crazy. Nice. This is a cool little town.
Wow, look at that slide.
Well, how about this for convenience? We're gonna have pizza right over there, and I spotted these chargers, and so, you know, the saying goes, ABC, always be charging, especially while adventuring. So these are J1772 public chargers. Every Tesla comes with this adapter that plugs from the typical charging standard. Honestly, I wish Tesla would just switch to CCS and J1772 just to have one standard across all automakers. But you can see I've attached the adapter here to the public charger. I've plugged in and they don't need any activation. Looks like it's just a plug and charge. Is he running away? Now the dogs do have dog mode. I don't know if we have decided to take them into the restaurant with us or if we're going to leave them in the car in dog mode, which keeps the climate on and puts a little thing on the screen that says, hey, the dogs are in here.
What you got there?
We are at this brewery here where they do food and beer, and they have a sausage plate with two different kinds of mustard. I love mustard, so I'm trying what seems to be a spicy mustard. Wow. It's really good. You gotta try this. Here, let me see what you think.
Yeah, you can. The same one?
You can try whichever one you prefer. Yeah, that's probably the way to do it. Really good, right?
Mm-hmm.
The sausage quality, the crispness. It's kind of everything.
It's got a good skin.
Yeah, it's kind of everything you would want. Really nice, yep.
Oh my god, no wait, stop. This lovely mural of different animals and hats as Elvis. And look at the Rasta dachshund over there, and Maryland cat roe over there. That is pretty much the highlight. But the food was really incredible, the drinks were really good, and 12 out of 10 recommend if you guys are ever coming through here and if you want to charge.
Gunnison, Colorado.
Yep, Gunnison, Colorado.
Yeah, what a nice town it is to walk around, explore. Kind of pretty.
It's absolutely adorable.
Yeah, real nice. Definitely a place to spend a weekend, that's for sure. And it's nearby skiing, which is great. The plan is we're going to be really quiet walking up to the car right over here because I want to see if the dogs are sleeping. Yeah, we'll walk up, sneak up on them from behind. Gotta be quiet.
Hi, puppies. You go potty real fast?
That's one way to scare them.
Go potties.
Make sure you have Ellie on a leash.
Just
Have Ellie. All right, Blue, go potty.
Go potty.
Looks like we're still charging just fine. You know how to go?
Come on, Ellis.
Yeah, looking all good.
Come here.
Hey, Abel. Hi, sweet girl. You having fun? You guys were taking a little nap? You were looking around.
Yeah.
He was on high alert.
He was on patrol.
Yeah, patrol. You were patrolling the car. Go on, Blue. So we normally have to keep Ellie on a leash because her recall isn't amazing. She's normally fine, but if she sees someone or something, she will go and say hi. This one is a dream. You say, Blue, come, and instantly, boom, he is there.
Blue, load up and he loads.
Yep, you tell him to get in the car, he does. He is pretty easy off leash. He probably never needs a leash any time in his life. He knows to say hi to people when we say it's okay, stay away when we say stay away. He's pretty great. This one though, she's typical wanderer. Have arrived at 16% here in Montrose. Let's get this thing, plug it in. Oh, thanks so much. Appreciate that. Here we go. Plug it in. Interesting that they're starting to label version 3 superchargers A, B, C, and D. Of course, it's a, each of the 4 cabinets here are on one, or I should say 4 stalls are on one cabinet. Looks like a beautiful little town down here. Car's going to accept big power, of course, because we're at low state of charge with a nice toasty warm battery. So we're already up to 130 and it's climbing up from there. So it looks pretty nice. Can't wait to go walk around and explore Montrose with the brand new supercharger. And you can see over here, just across from the supercharger, there are 2 of those CPE 250s of that same Colorado chargers I was telling you about before. Both of these, of course, again, at 62.5 kilowatt. I really wish there were 125 single post and 62 shared. I don't see why they couldn't do that. Anyway, here at the version 3, really nice install, I'd say. Downtown strip is just on the other side of the road. Really good spot. So I gotta say, I'm really liking this install. You can see the downtown strip is right there, but this is kind of off by 1 block, which is great because It means we were able to have the space to put the superchargers in, and it also means there's less risk of these chargers getting iced by combustion vehicles. These are the brand new version 3 units. You can see it's not a completed install yet. Looks like they're digging up some stuff over here, and this particular stall is not lit up or working, it looks like. So still some final touches needed here in Montrose, but looks like that's not too far away. And I really love these CPE 250 units. They're super stout. Just wish they would up the power levels on them. I mean, each one of these posts can do 250 kilowatts, and each one of those can only do 62.5. I mean, that's just not cool. Everything needs to be higher powered charging. Tesla gets the idea. The rest of the charging infrastructure industry needs to get the idea. They got to up the power levels. Their whole thought is, well, no cars on sale really can accept that much power today, so we'll just put in the low power units. And then when the automakers say, should we make a car that charges really fast, they'll say, well, there's only low power units installed, so what's the incentive for us to spend all the time engineering a fast charging vehicle? Well, Tesla gets it. They just, chicken before the egg type thing. They're just doing the whole thing themselves, and it works great. So, I'm a huge fan of non-Tesla EVs as well as Tesla EVs, but this charging is really becoming an issue for me, and we need to figure out what we can do to solve some of these problems. Good morning. It's actually the next day. We're still here at the Supercharger. No, we did not camp out overnight in Montrose at the Supercharger. We did grab a hotel. Let me tell you what we did, because we didn't do a very good job of filming. Right after we supercharged, we charged up to about 85-90%, can't remember exactly, but pretty deep into the pack. We thought, let's go to Telluride for the night. And when we looked at hotels in Telluride, there was one available that was dog friendly, and it was $2,400 for a room. And it didn't even look that nice. So we said, well, that's only 60 miles down the road. Let's stay in this cute town of Montrose and see what it's all about. Turns out this was all booked too. So we got like the last dog-friendly room at some, I don't know, not even a nice hotel, just an average hotel. And we went and we got dinner downtown on the main strip just over here. It was awesome. We got burgers and nachos and beer. It was really, really good. Great spot to hang out. We went to bed and woke up. It's about 9:30 in the morning right now. The dogs are loaded up in the car, jacketed up, of course, and now we are heading down to Telluride, Colorado. And from there, we're going to take maybe some back roads, look at some views. Today is the fun day. It is going to be the gorgeous day. Now, let me give you a quick tip on cold weather supercharging, especially when you have to stay overnight. So you can see here the car is on the Supercharger, but it's actually only currently pulling 10 kilowatts. It got really cold here last night, close to the, teens in Fahrenheit. And that means that the battery gets really cold when the car is parked overnight. Now, lithium ion batteries can't actually accept any energy, or at least the ones that are installed in the Teslas, below 32F, below freezing. When you plug into a supercharger with a really cold pack, your car won't even charge. What it'll do is it'll run the power off the supercharger to run the battery pack heating elements. And then once the battery pack is above, let's say 32, 34 degrees Fahrenheit, it'll warm up. Apparently our pack didn't get that cold last night, but it did get probably just on the border because, again, we're only pulling 10 kilowatts. So the reason we came here this morning is not because we needed the energy, but what I wanted to do was warm up the battery before we head down to Telluride. Today we're going to do quite a bit of adventuring and exploring. This is the southernmost supercharger on the western side of Colorado. So I wanted to make sure that not only did we have a lot of energy, we did from last night, we had over 75% state of charge, but I also wanted to make sure that the car warmed up. So while it is charging very slowly, more importantly, it's using the energy from the supercharger to warm up the battery pack and drivetrain so that it won't have to do that while we are driving. If we start with a nice toasty battery pack, means there will be more available energy inside of it, and also the car won't have to work to heat itself up for certain scenarios. Anyway, car's looking great. Martian wheels with the Nokian tires are really a great combination, I think, so far. Hopefully we'll get it in some more snow today. And yeah, really chilly morning. Snowfall tonight, it looks like, in the weather forecast, so we'll see. And let's jump in, charge up to whatever. We'll figure out where we're going to go, and then we will unplug and head down to Telluride, Colorado. We are now charged up to 82%. Blue, how do you feel about that? Pretty good. Anyway, we are 83%, doing 14 kilowatts. You'll see it'll slowly increase as things warm up. We have a 65-mile trek down to Telluride, and then we might go down to Silverton, and then up 550 to Ouray, and then back to here. I heard it's beautiful over in this area, tons of off-roading. I'm sure I pronounced Ouray wrong. I'll hear about that one in the comments. But yeah, plenty of awesome, like, little these roads to go on, so plenty to explore. That's why we're just spending a little extra time while Alyssa gets her makeup all done here at the Supercharger. What we're going to do is go to Telluride first. We'll arrive with 50% battery, and then it expects a 33% arrival on return. That should give us, again, 33% to burn exploring this little region of Colorado. Now, I haven't checked yet, but I don't believe there are any public DC chargers with our Chatamo unit that we'd be able to use, but if there are, we certainly will. Again, yesterday we came across this southern route. Today, I think we're going to go home up maybe through Aspen, Breckenridge, and over this way. So we'll see, but definitely different scenery today, and we'll have some beautiful views to share. Can't wait. Look at that other Tesla Model 3 twinning 18s with roof racks covered in dirt. Of course, going through the Starbucks drive-thru. That is how you know they are a proper Tesla owner. Tesla owners cannot start any day without a Starbucks, me included. Join us underneath the city of Telluride in a parking garage. I think it's called Silverjack parking, doesn't really matter. Anyway, check this out. We went on PlugShare and ChargeWay, two apps I always use to find chargers, and they have a whole row of J1772 chargers and even another one across the way. None are in use, but really is useful if you're coming here and spending the day, especially before that Montrose Supercharger went in. This is useful for Tesla owners, great for non-Tesla EVs. We're gonna charge up here, and it's not too fast. 30 amp at 208 volt business voltage, which is fairly slow. I wish we would see an effort to put in higher power chargers up to 80 amps, for example, especially with Rivians coming out with 80 amp capability. Most cars, new big battery cars, can do 48 amps, but this is pretty nice. We'll take the juice, why not? And I think what we're gonna do is take the dogs for a walk. What do you think? Oh, I got a jacket. Nice, thank you. Didn't even know I brought this. How sweet is that? And look at Bleu, he's just sitting up front. He's ready to go. People always ask, how hard is it to clean the white seats? What's your answer?
Very, very easy, surprisingly.
Yeah, I mean, we have, what, almost 80,000 miles on this car.
Those are well overdue to get clean.
Yeah, they definitely need a wipe down. Maybe we'll do it before and after, but they come back to brand new with some warm dish soap, Dawn dish soap, and a microfiber, and they come right back to fresh. Anyway, dogs look like they're ready for an adventure, so let's go explore Telluride, Colorado. Woo! Okay. I can't see which one is hers. All right, got Ellie. Ellie is afraid of surfaces, and this is something that will absolutely freak her out. So we can't pull her over. She's got to do it on her own. Come on, Elbow. You can do it. You can do it. Come on. Come on. It's okay. It's just a drain. Come on, Ellie. Come on, love. Come on. Come on, Ellie. Come on, Ellie. Come on. Yay! Good job. Why is that such a difficult thing for her? And this one, oh, she just noticed it. I was hoping she would just walk right over. There we go. Conquer one, conquer them all. All of your cousins, Ellie. Yeah, everyone's got a retriever here. You fit right in, Elbel, especially with your jacket. Very preppy. Ellie sees the birds. He's ready to go in the water.
To run around and romp around with some friends, which was really fun. But now we're gonna go put them in the car so we can go get something to eat.
What are you feeling like for lunch?
I don't know. That's a good question. We'll have to walk down and see what smells the best.
Typical answer. Got to do research. Takes us 2 hours to figure out where to eat every time.
And is it good every time?
Sometimes.
Most of the time it is.
Uh-oh, surface change, surface change. Have to go around. Come on, Ellie. Good job. Good avoidance technique. We'll have to work on that with her. Good girl. Get on in there. We'll see how well all this, dirty stuff comes up, cleans up. I'm sure it'll be back to perfect. Also, check this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stations. Pretty neat. We are charged up so far to 55%. We've gained 6 kilowatt hours. Now we're going to put the car in dog mode, which will keep the air conditioning going, and a message on the screen, just like yesterday, that says, hey, we've left the dogs in the car. Don't break our windows. All right, we got dog mode on. We got dogs in the back, and we are going to get some food. So see you guys in like 30 to 45 minutes.
An hour to 2 hours.
They'll just sleep. They're pretty good in the car.
Yeah, they don't care.
Yeah. All right, just finished up lunch at this cool little saloon. What'd you think?
It was delicious.
Delicious, absolutely. And now we're heading back to the pups. Gonna go up to the mountain, take a look at what some of the skiing amenities look like, because we gotta hit the slopes sometime soon this year. We haven't been on the mountain yet, actually, or any mountain, but that has to change. Gotta get back in the boots.
Skiing usually gets a little bit better in like February, March anyway.
Sure, it's still early, so. I guess. So yeah, let's go get the dogs.
I get all those tourists away, We're locals now.
Okay. We live 7 hours away.
I know.
All right, go find the puppies. Hopefully they're sleeping. We'll sneak up on them again, see what they're doing. Yeah, that view. Oh, as I almost wipe out. It is beautiful. All right, we need to be quiet because we're going to sneak up on them. Yeah, we'll see what they're doing this time. They had more time to chill today. He's on alert.
Goofers. You got your ear kaboomed, huh? You get ear kaboomed? Hi, bud. No, you stay right there.
Oh, Bleu.
Okay, bye.
We are charged up to 62%. We've gained 11 kilowatt hours. Thank you for the free juice. That's pretty sweet. So we'll just unplug this, put this back over here, and we'll grab our little adapter, and then we are good to go. And Bleu definitely just walked all over the seats while we were gone.
Yeah.
And no problem though. Like I said, these white seats are incredible. They just come right back, but don't use anything abrasive on them because it removes the factory coating and then you're screwed. So you use, again, Dawn dish soap, warm Dawn dish soap on a microfiber. It's the only thing they need. No protective coatings. It's not real leather.
Wow, we are looking up at the mountain village of Telluride, and it's pretty incredible watching some of the skiers and snowboarders go down. But it's very sleepy here, and I mean, that might be because of COVID, but honestly, I think it's due to it's just so far off the beaten path in Colorado.
Yeah, I think like most people probably just fly in and then hang out at home.
Yeah.
Like, take a look at these guys going down the mountain right here, just zooming past, shredding it. It's a pretty easy hill. Nice cruiser run. Got a chairlift right there. It'd be cool to live right here, walk over to the lift and go skiing. That'd be pretty neat. But these houses are $20-30 million.
Yeah, so like and subscribe.
Yeah, like and subscribe.
We'll give you a lot more content here.
Yeah, that's right.
So we looked at this map here, and this I'm just gonna butcher that, so I'm not even gonna say it.
Imogen Pass or something like this?
Maybe up to Ure, but that's all. This car is not gonna make it.
So the first question is it open in the wintertime? The answer is unknown, but we looked at some photos on our Trail Finder app, and it's pretty gnarly. Something this car couldn't do. Definitely a Rivian could do it for sure. So we definitely need an off-roading vehicle to enter the garage here pretty soon so we can see some more views. But it looks like there's no way to go south and around. You can see here we're in Telluride and we want to go to Ure. There's no road that connects this over this mountain pass other than like all the way down in Durango, which we're not going to go hours out of our way to. So looks like we're going to have to go back the way we came up to Montrose, and then from Montrose I think we'll cut over to Aspen and then hook into I-70 here. The other option is to go up to Glenwood Springs and on I-70. So we have some options on the way home. Definitely don't want to take the same route that we took to get here. We need some more views. But cool little map. Definitely worth it to come back here when we have a more capable off-roading electric vehicle potentially coming to the channel soon. Right, Ellie? What? we are back at the Montrose Supercharger, of course. Really not too many supercharger variety on this trip. We'll definitely hit some more on the way back after this. This is our third time here at this charger. Let's see what kind of speeds we get. 37%. It's probably right after the peak speeds. Battery pack was still preconditioning. Of course, it can cool down on the drive in cold temperatures. Yeah, only 95 kilowatts. It'll probably work its way up to just over 100. This is the problem with cold weather EVs. Batteries get cold and they don't charge very fast. Of course, on-route preconditioning is great, but I've noticed the Tesla doesn't warm up the battery pack enough for really, really peak speeds. So yeah, we're up to 122 kilowatt now. It'll work its way up to somewhere around there, I think we'll probably see, and that's fine. And what we'll do is we'll let the dogs use the restroom just over here in front of the building again, and then we'll be heading home. Not sure what route we'll take, but we got to look at the map. So here's the plan. This is how the car wants to go home, the same way we came, but we're not going to do that. We are going to go over on this road here to Carbondale and then up to Glenwood Springs. You can see if I type in Glenwood Springs, it's faster to go up to I-70. Oh, just glitched on us there. Go over to Grand Junction and then up. We're not going to do that. We're going to take the back roads over there. And then from there, we can choose, do we just take I-70 across and up, or do we go through the mountains? By that point, it might be dark, and we may just take the highway up. So what we're going to do is we know we can at least get to this road, because if I plug in the Aspen Supercharger, which there's no reason to duck down into Aspen, although it is a cool town, we'll save it for another day. We know we can at least take this road to get over there. All we'll do is we'll get up here, turn left, and head in the back way into Glenwood Springs to the Supercharger, and then rock on this way. So I think what we'll do is we'll select this distilling company. Sounds pretty neat. Could be a good dinner spot depending on the time we get there. But we will plug that place in. It's a destination charger. Once we get there, we will turn, basically continue on this road, turn left, and then we'll be up to Glenwood Springs. Well, I wasn't even paying attention, but we are definitely topped up pretty deep as far as we need to go. 60% to go 112 miles. Pretty good elevation profile as well. We have a little bit of a climb. You can see where we lose a lot of energy over a short distance, but then we make it back up with a downhill, and 20% is tons of buffer for us to maybe take a little exploration trip if we find a cool road. Anyway, Chevy Bolt just pulled up to charge at the public DC chargers. Awesome. Bleu is barking at, I'm really not sure what, but I think we are good to go. So let's unplug and head off to Glenwood Springs, Colorado. Bye, Montrose. Cool spending a little bit of time here. have arrived at 12%. Bleu is angry at nothing. We are gonna plug in. And right now we're on 1B. I believe that Tesla over there is on 1A, but you can see their little Tesla T's blinking pretty slow. Worst case, my plan was to plug into this one right here, but because it's on the ground, indicates that that stall may not be working. So unless we get excruciatingly slow speeds here, we may move to 2, or this car just unplugged on 3. So we have options for faster speeds. Probably we should do that. Let's take a look to see if this will start charging. So this is definitely a situation where we want to move stalls where we're only getting 21 kilowatts. This is just the problem with older installs here. So what we're going to do is move over to 2B. Normally 3B would be fine, but since he just charged on that, the handle could be hot and thermal throttling. At least we know 2B and 2A are free. So let's unplug the car, move over to this one, and then we'll be good to go. We have moved over stalls and much better, a little over 100 kilowatts. Still not great. We're at 13%. This is an older 125 kilowatt station, or 120. So it cannot output the full power of what a uncorked version 2 supercharger can. Looks like we'll just be charging up here with relatively low speeds, but hey, is that not a gorgeous view in the really cool town of Glenwood Springs, Colorado? Unfortunately, no restaurants in the immediate walking distance. So what we'll do is we'll just hang out here, have another Tesla joining us. This is always a busy supercharger. I hope they upgrade this one to a version 3 at some point, because this is 100 kilowatts. It's just not enough. So you may be wondering how I know certain superchargers and their power levels. Well, when you click on the station like we're at here, we have 120 kilowatts available, which tells me these are the early, not necessarily version 1, but early version 2 superchargers. The early version 1s, I usually refer to these as version 1s. Those are capped at 90 kilowatts. I don't believe there are any left installed. So what the car wants us to do is to go I-70 all the way down into Denver and up, and it thinks this will be our last charging stop. Certainly that's a possibility. Looks like there's a ton of traffic here along I-70. What might be kind of a neat idea is to stop at one of these Idaho Springs, probably Idaho Springs. It's a version 3 250 kilowatt supercharger, and go there for a nice dinner stop, because that one is in like this really neat, cool downtown area, super dog friendly, and a million restaurants everywhere. So we'll see about that, but I definitely don't want to sit here charging at 102 kilowatts when we can just easily get there, hit 250 kilowatts, charge up just enough, and then we won't need much juice at all to get home, because keep in mind we are at, I don't know, 10,000 feet of elevation, 9,000 feet, something like that here, and it's all downhill. Basically, we just go over Vail Pass, which is somewhere around here. Yep, right over here, and then it's all straight downhill past Silverthorne down into the Front Range. So pretty easy and simple. We'll just charge up enough, let's just say, to get to Idaho Springs. And yep, 20 minutes of sitting here at 102 kilowatts, but that is okay. These are the troubles we go through to drive electric cars relying on older infrastructure here in Colorado. Charging up, still at 100 kilowatts. Kind of annoying that it won't go any faster, but that is the case of these older chargers. They just get beat up. But we're out for a walk with the dogs. Not sure where Alyssa is, but I'm taking Ellie, or I should say she's taking me somewhere to go sniff. Ellie loves to sniff everything. That's her goal in life, sniff everything. Well, we let the dogs run around for a while, and we are now charged up with plenty of buffer, a 21% buffer on arrival, which means we can use a little bit of that up in speed. It'll also be cold temperatures and a bit of a headwind, believe it or not. So what we're gonna do is head out now and go to Idaho Springs, I think maybe for dinner. If not dinner, then just a quick top up. How does that sound?
Sounds great.
Okay, you guys stay there. I'm gonna unplug the car.
Okay.
Here we go. It's amazing how warm that handle actually gets in the winter time. Tells me that there's a little bit of a resistive connection either on the car side or the handle side. I think it's on the handle side because the car hasn't heated up any connections up to this point yet. Car on, into drive, GoPro on, and we are off to Idaho Springs, Colorado, one of the coolest little towns. Welcome to Idaho Springs, Colorado, one of the coolest little towns. This version 3 installation, really neat. Man, did we have some crazy snow and ice on the pass going over the Ike on I-70, but check this out. I'm sure you can't even hear me over the wind, but we have some windshield washer stations, which is great because our windshield wipers need some serious replacing, as you can see. Well, I've cleaned off the windshield and the headlights. We do have paint protection film on the headlights, so I'm not worried about scratching them. But man, does Tesla need some headlight washers or something, because it was so dim we could barely see the road. Man, it's crazy cold and windy out here. What are we getting, 164 kilowatts? Should be doing a lot more than that, but we will take it for sure. Well, we got stuck on the phone with our friend EV Dave. He is buying a Mustang Mach-E for some YouTube comparisons. Will be kind of neat. We'll be able to use it for some road trips and off-roading stuff. So that means we charged up and got distracted way more. But also, let's see, we're not too high up. Yeah, 83%. Didn't really take too long. So let's jump back on the road. We didn't end up getting any food. The wind seems to have died down a bit. But most of these restaurants here are closed, unfortunately. So a little bit of stuff going on, but that's okay. I think we've eaten enough this trip. We really did eat a ton. So I mean, do you want dinner at all?
Maybe, you know, a little snack, but nothing big.
Yeah, I agree. Nothing big. I think that's the best plan of action here. So let's jump on the highway and head home. Stopped into the Taco Bell for a little crunchy taco, and they saw the dogs and they said, hey, those are some cute pepperoonies, and they gave them each a little steak bowl, which these dogs eat raw meat as their main diet, so a little cooked meat, as long as there's not too many spices, shouldn't be too bad. What do you think, Alyssa?
They can have a little bit.
A little bit?
A little bit.
All right, Ellie, come on over here. All right, love. There you go. Good job, guys.
Okay, that's enough. That's it.
Just a little taste for them.
Here, right there.
Have they eaten dinner yet?
No.
No, I guess they'll eat when they get home. It's late. It's 10 p.m. They must be pretty hungry. All right, off we go. Back to home.